Hi, Paul here from Takroc Music. Today we're going to look at how to create the tempo in a Logic Pro project. It's where we take a song to use as a reference. So I do that all the time where I pull in a reference song that we want to do for a cover, bring it into Logic, and most of the time the tempo is very different and it's not set. Now that's fine if you're just going to play along and do live recordings to the cover song. But if you want to add in MIDI components or MIDI instruments like the drummer, bass player, or the keyboard player from the session players from Logic, it becomes a little more challenging if it doesn't line up properly to the bars and the tempo isn't the same. You can still do it, but it's just a lot more work. So I have a technique here that I want to show you on how to take a cover song or any audio that has a varied, non-consistent tempo and how to correct it to exactly the tempo you need. And then you're able to use that more efficiently with any MIDI instruments. So let's get into that. Okay, so first thing we need to do is open up a new project and add an audio track right here. The important thing is to make sure that our tempo is at adapt project tempo. Once we have that all set, we drag in our reference file and drop it into the audio track. And we're going to use the track Pinball, which is the cover that we did a few years ago. Now to ask you to edit downbeat and tempo, so you just say show, and now we have the reference file in here, and as you can see the tempo is not constant, so it's 75.1, 74, 74.8, etc., etc. So what we want to do is adjust this so that it's the same tempo right across the whole song, and then we can line up the different sections of the beat. So the way we do that is to select the icon over here on the right to take a look at the different events here. We got the events, markers, tempo, and signature. We want to click the tempo. So now we have to kind of make a judgment call, and we're going to look at all the tempos here, and you want to pick something somewhere in the middle. So if we look around the middle of the song, it's somewhere between 74 and 76. It goes down to 72, 73, 74, 75. So I'm going to say let's try 75. So we simply select the second tempo, holding the shift key to select all of these here, all of these tempo adjustments, which is all of these marks here, and you simply hit delete. Now it only has one tempo left, which is 74.02, and then we're going to double click that, and we're going to put in 75 and hit enter. So now we click this off. So now we have the set tempo of 75. We want to come down here now to the track, and then we want to hit the flex tool right here, and it will say, do you want to turn on the flex for the pinball reference? Pinball's the name of the track, so I say yes. And now it will automatically adjust to the specific tempos. So now the next thing we need to do is add in, we can either put in a drum track, or we can hit the tempo click here. So when we start playing it, as you can hear, the metronome is clicking exactly in time with the song. So now we have it all lined up properly. So if we expand this out a little bit here and go back to the beginning, you can see that on bar number 2 is where the song actually starts. So let's just try that again, and you'll see the downbeat is right starting at the 2, which means we have everything lined up. So let's try that again. So as you can hear, the first guitar tune is right at the 2 mark, so that means we're perfectly lined up. So what we could do, we have a little bit of background noise here. We can actually take this and drag that right to the 2 mark. And then that way that gives us the starting point, so we have no extra noise ahead of time, so it's easier to line up. And then we can take this whole reference and pull it back to line 1. Now, we're free to add in whatever we want. We can play along live along with this perfectly aligned tempo. But the advantage here is we can now add in MIDI instruments. So if we wanted to add in a drummer, for example, so we say drummer and hit create. Now the drummer should be totally in sync with the song. So let's check that out. So as you can hear, the drum is perfectly aligned. So now we can use the drummer if we want to use any kind of MIDI tracks, if we want to use the session players and add in a keyboard or a bass player, it will line up perfectly with this whole song. Now, the one caveat with this, what you'll find in some songs, and because I've done this for all of the cover songs that we do, we bring this in as a reference to use the cover songs, then we start recording, and then we mute out the cover song once we have enough of our music in there. You will find sometimes the vocal or the instrumental will warble a little bit because it's trying to keep up or adjust for the tempo, which is fine. You can just overlook that. As long as you're playing the music, you should be able to play through that, and that gives you the good reference. So that's just the idea behind that. So I hope you found that helpful. A lot of times YouTube will bring you my videos even though you haven't subscribed. If you like what you see, please take a moment to subscribe and ring the bell.